we ought to go scout out the police department. And then they go and they take video of it, and they come back and have a meeting, and the Fed generally is the leader of the group by then because he's buying them guns and food, and they love him, and it may take him 2-3 years to get their trust, and boy, they just love Bubba or whatever his name is. He's really, a Southern Poverty Law Center trainee, or he's an FBI agent. And then he says, we need to train to look at how we'd run an ambush like in the movie Red Dawn. We act like a car's broke down, and when the cop pulls up, we kill him. Right, Bill? Right, Jenny? Right, Tom? I guess so. I guess so, Bubba. Is that what we do? That's right. Now, let me hear your plan. Tell me how you would do that in this simulation. It's just a simulation, mind you, and they're recording the whole thing. And then one of the younger ones says, yeah, and then when the feds come to be part of the funeral, we'd have IEDs out there and we'd blow them up. Oh, that's a good idea. You sure are smart now. I had Pale Horse on, one of the people arrested, and they're saying there's members in the group now. I told you this Monday. I told you again Tuesday, and then the Wall Street Journal, I hadn't read it till last night, came out and said, yeah, there was an informant and someone else in the group who's been arrested, but they're going to let him go. I told you, they always stage. It's like the Mumbai thing. The leader was U.S. intelligence. And they're saying, well, we've got him, and we're going to probably let him go or look at him off with some lenience. That's only because it came out he was a Fed. And looking at these photographs, let's look at these photographs. Now, I've learned, this guy, obviously, dumber than a box of rocks, the leader. His son, dumber than a box of rocks. These people all look like, and I'm not trying to be mean, like they may be missing chromosomes. This guy, joke. This guy, we're going to get into him later, and I'm still doing investigations. Thomas William Flatek. We need to look very closely, because if I've seen informants, I've had guys that look just like this try to set me, they look, this guy right here. And look, he doesn't even look too concerned there. These people are all wide-eyed. You can tell they're not too pleased about what's going on. Not in a jail uniform, as you notice. They said they had basically a staged arrest of one of their operatives inside. Now, we'll see if I'm right about this, but I had Pale Horse on, Sickles, in August of 17th going, if you're not a Fed, somebody's handling you and telling you to dress like that and use a voice changer. This comes right out of the ADL, what you're doing. And he needs to be looked at as well. And we'll get him up on screen. Pull Sickles up. You talk about a setup. So there's an FBI agent, there's an informant, and there's someone inside the group that's working with them as an informant, and they're going to be let go. Is it the guy not in a jail uniform here? Is it Sickles? And when he was on the show, I played this. I played it, what, yesterday? Or was it Monday? Yesterday. I played the August 17th show. Now, looking at this, when he was on the show, I said, they're going to try to get you to drill to case out a police station. And they're going to try to set you up that you're planning to attack police stations. Because they want to get the cops all hating militia or anyone that's into the Second Amendment or Tea Parties. So they always try to get militia to target police stations. They try to get the black group, the young Christians down in Florida to do it. It's always the same story, to get the cops all into this paranoid, delusional culture. And I also told you Monday and Tuesday that, because it's always the same, they psychologically profile weak-minded, scared groups who are weak-minded, who can then be tricked into wargaming, who can be tricked into scenarios so the feds can sell it as if it was a real attack plan. Now, of course, it's coming out it wasn't a real attack plan. But it's like every other case. You'll hear about it for a month, and then a month later, all the information comes out, but it's even coming out within a few days this time, that it wasn't real. It was in their heads and seen as part of a wargaming scenario. And that the date they had to go down to City Hall was for a protest, not for a plan to kill police officers. But that doesn't matter now. And this coincides with all of this demonization in the media of patriots, of conservatives, of libertarians, of Tea Parties. As the government's done all these illegal, unconstitutional things, as people are getting angry with the government, and rightfully so, and politically so, they want to now stage more violent attacks and more fake arrests to kind of prep people's minds for spectacular attacks mixed in with some smaller attacks in the next few months as a pretext to fully roll out Homeland Security against the American people. Here is the Sun-Times. Undercover agent, witness provided intelligence on alleged Christian militia member. And it says it was another militia that initially reported. Some of the big militias in Michigan are completely Fed-run. And then, again, they go out and interface and decide, run by agents, who's good to set up. An unidentified cooperating witness helped provide intelligence to a federal grand jury about at least one of the alleged members of the group, Thomas Petak, who delivered steel drums for a South Side company. And this isn't clear whether Thomas Petak is the one who provided the info or the info was provided on him. The person pictured therein is the person known as cooperating witness, an undercover FBI agent to be the person who participated in the criminal violations contained in the indictment. A government filing in the case reads, referring to photos of Petak shown to the grand jury. And so the way this is written, Jaron, you're the one that just brought this to me. I saw it this morning. They're saying there it's Petak, right? Yeah, it's not clear. I wonder, again, it's either Petak or it's Sickles are the two I've identified. As I just said, you just brought this in. And it's not clear, it's vague here, but was it Sickles reporting on Petak? Yeah. The filing was made to correct Petak's middle name, which it says was mistakenly entered as Edward instead of William on his arrest warrant and indictment. Oh, man. I mean, I'm not even going to get into it. It's just they're constantly trying to set me up. When I was in Denver for the DNC, I constantly had people coming up going, oh, Alex, I'm a big fan. Do you want some guns when you're out demonstrating to be safe? I'm like, no, I don't want guns. So they could say, Alex Jones had a concealed gun. He was planning to get Obama. I mean, it was just over and over again, people coming up. I'd be at an event or I'd be somewhere, and it was always a cop or informant type. Hey, you want some guns to protect yourself? It's just, and then these feds will just run off and just lie about you. Because I have experienced them doing this. I have experienced, you're standing there at a fence to watch the military do a takeover drill at a municipal airport, and a guy comes out of the bushes and says, you asked me to light this on fire. And I'm like, stop it, stop. I mean, folks, I've been there over and over and over and over again. And last night I was remembering all the other times it happened. I mean, and to be on the news, Alex Jones tried to burn down the forest to hurt the military. He's a domestic terrorist. And so a lot of these Michigans are Fed-founded and Fed-run, just like the white